All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to another video. Today's topic is, I call this one Rabbits and Lamborghinis. So, this one is about why you may need more work. I got this topic from the fact that there have been, and even in my own life, let's just go ahead and start with that. There have been plenty of times to where I either had a job or so I had work, or I was underworked, so maybe 15, 20 hours a week, even 25, and didn't have that much else going on the side. So I may have had like school at the same time or whatever the case is, but what ended up happening is I felt lethargic. I kind of sank into uh, bad moods, maybe a little bit of depression, kind of feeling like things are getting really monotonous. There was no point in anything. I was like, okay, I'm doing this over and over. I feel so burnt out. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to, some of you might be feeling the same way, and maybe it's that you need more work. Some of y'all may be overworked, then this isn't for you. But this is an interesting topic, I think, because I've known many people over my life who have this kind of burnt out feeling. So there are plenty of reasons why that could be. I'm bringing this one up because I believe that this one is one that is not talked about as much and is worth a try. So if you are feeling burnt out and you're not getting that much work, now it doesn't have to just be hours at your job, we'll get to that, but it might be that you need more work. You might not thrive in an environment to where you're only getting a few hours a week or a few hours a day, or your job is the only thing that's going on for you. You may not actually need a vacation or to cut your hours. You may need to actually ramp it up. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, because a lot of people, they think this. They're like, oh, I'm just so burnt out. I need a vacation. I feel like I'm at work all the time, but are they really? Now, if you are really, then perhaps you have some things to think about. That maybe that isn't the job for you. Maybe there's something else that you might want to explore. But for those of you that have not tried this one, maybe more work, and like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be with the job that you have, is what you need, not I need a vacation or I need more time to myself or something. If you're taking time to yourself or for a vacation, I would consider weaving in what I'm about to suggest here, and that is side projects. If you don't want to take more hours on at work or have a second job or your income is steady and you're still feeling burnt out, you're still feeling like that what's the point to all of this? I'm not getting anywhere. I don't feel fulfilled, that kind of thing. You might need to start like either a side job, a side business, a side hustle, even just a side hobby that may one day turn into a business. If it is a hobby that takes advantage of your innate gifts, chances are that one day you can make money off of that. So I would definitely lean into that, right? So things like writing, painting, artistry, coding. If you are a kind of person who likes Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and following and analyzing those markets, all right? Whatever those passions are that you can talk about on hours on end, right? Those are the things that you might want to take a look at for these. Now, some of you do need more hours at work. And this is a lot of people. For those of you that this is not resonating with, you're already at work 40 to 50 to 60 hours a week. You're probably more on the hobby side. For those of you who have a job but you're only there 4 days a week or 3 days a week, and only like 20 to 30 hours or something, you're still feeling burnt out, and there isn't a way to change into a different job right now, maybe try taking on more. You'd be surprised with the fact that sitting around or not having things going on the side. Okay, this is particularly true for men, I think. It doesn't necessarily mean that this might not be true for women. It might be, but for men, the way genetically, biologically, like your personality, not just personality, just your whole existence is kind of wired. It's to hunt, it's to go after things. Does that make sense? So this means that if there isn't something to go after, to continually chase and attack and kind of get better at, you're going to feel unfulfilled. So you should probably be hitting the gym if you're not doing that. If you're going just one day a week, you need to ramp it up. If you're going for walks or for runs, maybe that should be ramped up some. You should be getting a little bit better every single week. If you feel like you've plateaued out, more work needs to be put into it. If you're working on your hobbies, if you're, like I said, if you're a writer, if you do something like this, you record video, if you're a YouTuber, if you're any sort of creative person, maybe lean into it more. I've heard it said once that one of the best cures for writer's block is to sit your butt in a chair and write. Now that might sound kind of silly, but even if you're writing about things that you think are going nowhere, you're still using those gifts, those powers of yours. And eventually they'll turn around on you in a good way, and you'll get your path. Now, I mentioned earlier you might need more work like at your job, or have a second one, especially if you're only working 20, 25, some of you maybe 15 hours a week or something. You need to be like on that grind, stacking money up, paying debt down. As long as I've done a video on debt, but as long as you are in debt, it's like a modern day slavery. You're not going to feel good. You're not going to feel productive. You're going to be depressed. You guys know what I'm talking about. You should be doing everything that you can to knock that out as soon as you can. Knock the debt out. And then stacking up money so that you have some cash flow after your bills, some side income to invest in a side business. To invest, I don't know, some of y'all, like I said, might do cryptocurrency. Some of y'all might be into stocks. Some of y'all might be into real estate, or maybe your own little side hustle that you want to start up. And having that extra money from keeping busy is going to do well for you, for getting it out there, for doing more with it every single week. And when you have, guys, I'm telling you right now, it's the best feeling in the world when you have something to work towards and you're putting more work into that. Even if it's you got to go to that stupid job a little bit more, the money that it gives you to put into that new thing, something that you're really crafting around your own abilities, that's invaluable, meaning hugely valuable. There's nothing maybe in the world that's more valuable than that to your psyche, making you feel like, hell yeah, I'm on my path, I'm doing more every single week. So I entitled this video Rabbits and Lamborghinis, Why You May Need More Work. Let me tell y'all a little bit of a story here. Let me tell y'all a little bit of this is an illustrative metaphor for what we're talking about in this video. If any of y'all are into cars, you probably have heard of the Lamborghini. If y'all are not into cars, you probably have heard of the Lamborghini. So Lamborghini is a company that makes sports cars. Okay, they're generally a little bit more rugged than other companies like Ferrari or Pagani or Aston Martin or something like that. Lamborghinis are like kind of like grab it by the scruff and drive that car. They're a little bit clunkier, they're louder, it's its own thing. Here's the thing. This is why I entitled it this. Lamborghinis, except for maybe the most cutting edge new ones now, but Lamborghinis have and a lot of sports cars have a reputation of they're really good at driving really fast. Obviously, it's the whole point of the car. They're really good. They can take corners really fast. Their transmissions shift really quickly. They have a lot of horsepower, big fat tires that can hug the ground more so you can have better traction. They're good at driving fast, like ripping around a track. The thing is, a lot of people will tell you people who own the cars, people who test them for magazines and stuff, that they're strange though to drive slowly because they're not necessarily optimized for that. So their transmissions are a little bit more clunky when you're driving them slow. They're not as used to that. The way the throttle response might be too heavy. The steering might be boosted too much. You're just trying to drive around town. You turn the steering wheel a little bit, and the car just goes. Or you hit the gas a little bit or the brake, and it wants to go or stop very quickly. That's what it's for. So driving them slow can be a little bit weird. Why? Because they need more work. They need to be pushed hard. Maybe you do too. What does this have to do with rabbits? So if you see a rabbit, like a bunny, right? They, like Lamborghinis, are very good at what? Being fast. They're fast as hell. They can take off and run really fast. That's the point of a rabbit, is they can get away from their predators. They have no other way to defend themselves but to run like hell if something is coming after them. But just like the Lamborghini we talked about, they're not good at moving slowly. Like, if you ever see a rabbit walk, it's odd. It's strange. Like, you'll see them run, and they do it very well, but when they walk, it's kind of a stilted and experience for them. They gotta move in a weird way and walk over this anatomy that's supposed to be running, but walking is stranger to them. Like, humans are much better at walking than rabbits are. Rabbits are much better at running. Does that make sense? This is because the rabbit's supposed to be fast. It's supposed to be going fast, so when they walk, it's kind of weird. You could probably look at a kangaroo and see a lot of the same stuff. Kangaroos aren't good at moving very slow. I mean, they can run like hell, like a rabbit can. But when they just want to hop a little bit, a few steps or a few hops, right, is what it would be for a kangaroo. It's clunky. It's also, I'm pretty sure I have this correct, but kangaroos can't even walk backwards or hop backwards. People can walk backwards. You see what I mean? So there are things that you may be optimized for, and more high intensity work or a more high intensity schedule doesn't, like I said, it doesn't always have to be work. If your finances are fine, your debt is paid down, you're already at work 30, 40, 50 hours a week, or whatever it is for you that covers everything, and you're still feeling this way, you probably need stuff on the side. Hobbies, special interests, join some clubs, some meetups, some just anything like that. Play an instrument. I know I got a piano here in the background, which I am not good at playing. Okay, but that's not the point. Like, I'm probably not optimized to play piano. I just enjoy it, and it's something that I do get a little bit better at every single time that I touch it. Play an instrument. Learn how to dance. That's a good one. I've been wanting to take salsa lessons for a while now, and it's something that within the next year I would like to actually go out and do. Now, with everything else in my schedule right now, we'll see how it can fit in, and if it can, great. But do something like that, especially for you fellas out there. A guy who can actually dance is, and I'm not saying I can't, but one that can is rare, especially in today's world. Okay, even if it's ballroom dancing, salsa, tango, it can hip hop, it can be it doesn't matter, but the fact that you would have expertise in something like that would be very attractive to a lot of women. Even you don't even have to be that good looking. You don't even have to be that damn good at the dances, because being able to do it at all, even a little bit, 9 out of 10 guys that I know can't do any. Period. You know what they do? They scroll TikTok, they play video games, they may go to work, and they don't do anything. They're feeling burnt out because there's nothing else going on. Nobody's gonna give a shit about how good you are at Call of Duty or World of Warcraft 10 years from now, 5 years from now. People probably don't care about that right now. Maybe some people in your guild or your clan or whatever, but think about it. 5 years from now, if you know how to dance or play an instrument, or you're working on something, maybe you're shooting YouTube videos, maybe you do video editing for people and have some kind of truly transferable skill and things that carry forward, you're going to feel a lot better. And it's very, you ever see somebody who can really like play a piano, okay? Or who can really, maybe hey, sports is another one. Can't believe I forgot that. Maybe you like basketball, or you need to join a softball group, or maybe you like martial arts or something. It doesn't matter what it is, but you ever see somebody that's really good at any of those things, even if they're just better than everybody else in attendance, like in the room. Like, you, let's say you're walking around, just for example, sometimes you'll go to places. Here's one reason I like piano. One of the other reasons that I like it is that you can find pianos or keyboards at places. Like, people use them as furniture. They don't even play them, but they're there as decoration, right? At lots of places, even like some stages have them, or some public areas. So you can run into, the same can't be said about like a violin or a harp or like flutes or clarinets or trumpets. Depending on where you are, they might have those, but you know what I'm talking about. Pianos, like, sometimes people just have them as decoration, and so I run into them a lot. So it's neat. It's easy to play when everyone else has one too, or you know what I'm saying. But you ever go into a room and there's a piano and there's one person out of the 20 or 30 people there that can play a tune, even if they're not that good at it, that's impressive. That's going to be more impressive than if you walk into a room and they got an Xbox in there or something like that, and somebody fires up Call of Duty and is getting all of these kill streaks and stuff. Yeah, that's cool and stuff, but what do you think people think that's more impressive, or playing the piano, or being able to shoot in basketball very well, or doing some sort of martial arts form with a lot of fluidity in front of you? Okay? This is what I'm getting at here. And those kinds of things, this is what I was saying about dancing. If you want to take some dance, if you want to attract some women, you fellas out there, being able to dance is one of those things that is like, it's almost biologically engineered into both sexes, that dancing is sexy. The rhythm, the way you move your body, it doesn't even have to be a sexy dance. It can just be some waltz or something, but the fact that you're incorporating your body in that emotion. If you want to attract some people, overnight you will go up in attractiveness if you just start studying some dance or something. So I'm just putting that in there as a for instance. This video is about rabbits, Lamborghinis, and why you need to do what? Maybe you need some more work, or you need more work on the side, or you need to be working on something. If you're feeling burnt out, chances are that you are not working on something or enough things. It doesn't need to be just one. Don't just play an instrument. Do that. Go to the gym, play a sport, learn some dance like we said, learn how to invest, understand personal finance and credit better. Most people that I meet, especially young people, and this is an unfortunate truth about our society today, don't understand credit and personal finance like at all. Even if you know just a little bit about it, you're automatically ahead of like 80% of the people that you'll probably run into, unless you hang out with a lot of very affluent people in money, which is something that I would recommend too, is to do that. But most of the people, especially if you're young at your job and stuff, that's not what they care about. They care about like, oh, can I get this newish or new car, because can I afford the payment? Thinking nothing about, does that payment go on for 6 or 7 years? Does that payment include a high interest rate? Does it include a down payment that you're going to have to torch in order to get that car? What about the insurance and the gas? What about the reliability? You see what I mean? It's not all just, can I afford $400 a month or $450 a month to drive a new Accord? Or worse, like $600-700 a month to drive a new Dodge Charger or something. Hey, I love all that stuff too, but priorities. Okay? So, anyways, this video has been about rabbits and Lamborghinis and why you may need extra work on the side, please do leave a like. Share your comments of your specific situation. What kinds of things do you like to do? If you're struggling to find something on the side, what I would do is look at the things you already have interest in. You would be surprised with even something that seems like it's not valuable, how you can creatively reorganize it to make it valuable. So I would look at those things. You can leave a comment below too if there's a specific subject that you would like featured on here, and who knows, maybe it will get featured on here one day. But thank y'all so much for being here, and have a beautiful day.